day, Bermuda. I'm Jamila Lodge of the Bermuda Economic Development Corporation, and this is Mind Your Business, the show that brings you the latest information about starting and running a local business in Bermuda. Join us as we discuss the local business issues that are important to you. Today, I have with me my colleague, Raymond Lambert. He is the Economic Development Officer for the St. George's EEZ, and he's also going to be project managing the youth pitch component of Rocket Pitch this year. Welcome.
Thank you.
I'm so happy you're here to talk about one of the things that are passionate to me, which is global entrepreneurship, and one of the signature events that we host during that week, or the month, I should say, of November is Rocket Pitch.
Yes.
And this year we are thinking about adding a new pitch category to Rocket Pitch. But before we start that, I'm going to put you on the hot seat. You know, technically I coordinate Rocket Pitch competition, but I can't necessarily ask myself questions, right?
Right.
So I'm going to ask you the questions.
Sure.
What is the Rocket Pitch competition?
So basically, the Rocket Pitch, as well as you know, is a competition that came out of Global Entrepreneurship Week.
Yes.
We now consider it Global Entrepreneurship Month.
That's right.
But it's one of the main competitions that we do. So it's actually just that. It's a pitch competition. Mm-hmm. It's a 7-minute pitch that a person gives, and the objective is to basically tell a story within that 7 minutes that illustrates a business opportunity.
Okay.
So the idea is not to overcomplicate, keep it simple, and convey that idea to the judges.
That's right. And so we've done this since 2008. So it'll be 10 years that we've been hosting this Rocket Pitch competition. And it's changed over the years. We went from first, second, and third place prizes to actually having 3 categories. And last year we added a category for the Pitch Green, it was called, for, green agri-based businesses. This year, we're adding another category, and that is the youth pitch category. And that pitch, you want to tell us a little bit about that and why we added it?
Sure. Well, basically, we feel as though entrepreneurship doesn't start when you're out of school. People have great ideas, and oftentimes the youth in our community have some of the best. Yeah. So it's an opportunity to get people to think as entrepreneurs at an early age. So the competition will be open up to kids within the school age area up to 18, right. And we're looking forward to it. It should be a great addition.
Yeah, I think so too. And we did have quite a few students pitch in the regular categories last year, I think, if I'm not mistaken. And that's sort of kind of why we said, well, maybe it will be better if we have a separate category for young people to kind of level that playing field a little bit. Although some of these young people are on point, I must say. They are. I must say that. So I'm really excited about that. Like I said before, this particular competition has been responsible for, I would say, helping to get over 20 different businesses get their start. So we're excited about that. What I want to know from you, though, is how is the youth pitch competition going to be different from the regular Rocket Pitch competition?
So what we're doing with the youth pitch is instead of it being a 7-minute pitch, it'll be a 5-minute pitch.
Okay.
So it's a little shorter. And it'll have the same components. It'll be a PowerPoint presentation that they'll do. The idea really being that we want to make sure that the kids who enter actually have an opportunity to showcase their pitch as best as possible. So we'll actually have a preliminary pitch, which would be open to the public, so their parents can come and see them. And then the best 2 pitches would then go to the finals, which would be part of the overall Rocket Pitch competition. Okay. So there's 2 opportunities to showcase at the sort of preliminary level and then at the finals.
Okay. So young people, granted, they are on point, but in the event that they might need some additional support, is there anything extra that is being added to support them as they work towards building their pitch?
Yes, so we've been working with Joe Mahoney, who is Youth Entrepreneur Initiative. He's actually come on as the sponsor for this particular category. So Joe's actually going to be having some workshops. I believe the dates are the 21st, 22nd, and 23rd of October. Okay. And then from that point, all pitches would be needed to be submitted by the 31st of October.
Okay. All right. And so they go through this sort of, I guess, preparing their pitch, and then once they're submitted, then they would get invited to go to the preliminaries. Is that?
Exactly.
Okay.
So, this is, there's one thing to actually be able to write the pitch, and then there's something else to be able to deliver. So we'll assist in both areas, a little bit of coaching, a few suggestions ahead of time, and then even at the preliminaries, those that go to the finals will still have opportunities to be coached a little further.
Okay. So I just want to ask your opinion with regard to pitch competitions, because we always hear people are like, oh, they're going to steal my idea, I don't want to pitch, da, 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 da. But when you're talking about young people in school age, yes, we're hopeful that they will actually come out of it on the other end and actually have a viable business. But is the expectation that when the pitch or the winner of the pitch is going to start the business, or do you hope that it's more of an experience-based learning type of situation for the young people?
I think it's a little bit of both.
Okay.
There are some ideas that some of the kids will come up with that may be able to be put directly into a business that they start as a summer business. There are others who are thinking bigger than that, and we're going to try to assess on each merit. So there will be a combination of both ideas that perhaps can be implemented over the summer, and then others that will take a little bit more nurturing. And if it's a great pitch, then we're certainly there to award it accordingly.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm excited about it because we can see there's actual tangible proof of people who have gone through the process, gone through Rocket Pitch, and actually gone on to start their business. And although, in the grand scheme of things, it's not a whole lot of money that you win, it's not a whole lot of services that you win. But I think I like to say that Rocket Pitch is the catalyst that kind of helps push you towards whatever it was you were kind of sitting on for all that time. And I'm hopeful that this youth pitch component will do just that, right? Because in the absence of a regular entrepreneurship curriculum in schools, which we hopefully will work on, this is a good way to kind of introduce, I think, the whole component of pitching and trying to get people to buy into your idea and give you money. So I think it's a great opportunity for young people. What do you think?
Yeah, just that. I think we need to get away from just the expectation of going to school and going to get a great job, and think more like entrepreneurs from the early age, and then act on it. Yeah. There are many people that have great ideas, but acting on it is where, I guess to say, the rubber meets the road. And we want to encourage that at younger ages, because that's where, as I said earlier, some of the best ideas come from.
Yeah, I would agree with you 100%. And I'm kind of off topic a little bit, but you facilitate a course called Ice House. Yes. And the whole idea behind that is to help people start to go through that kind of idea generation, validation process. And so in some ways you can kind of liken the pitch process to that, if you will, in terms of trying to look at your idea and prepare it for validation.
Oh yes, we will have some of the students from the Ice House program that will enter the competition. I'm sure. Because the timing works out to be just that. So it's a great start. And again, I think some people need to recognize this is not necessarily at a stage where you're ready to run the business, but you're able to validate it, and that's what the pitch is about. Right.
And one of the things that I do want to talk about are the prizes, right? So there is a cash award, which we try and give as the carrot, right, to get people to do it. And it's so funny because I feel like every year I'm begging people to take the money. I'm like, please, please, take the money. But in addition to that, which I think can be more valuable even, are the services that we, some of our industry experts have been so gracious to donate and sponsor that people need to actually get their businesses started. So I think that to me is a value added. And sometimes, recipients don't even take advantage of that. Why do you think it is that they don't use those services? So we're talking about marketing support, legal support, accounting support.
It's just back to following through. I think the idea is to actually utilize those people around you, and they, in some cases, will help you to bring your vision to life. So we definitely want to encourage that in each and every case. Yeah. So even some of those who hadn't done it before, some of those opportunities may still be available, but we definitely want to encourage that side of it even more so, because you definitely speak to people that know more about particular areas that any one person may know. So to touch base with those various service providers is a great bonus for the competition and something that people should really take advantage of.
Yeah. And I would say, like, from my experience with looking at other competitions that are hosted other places in the world, in some cases, they don't even give out money, right? It's like, that's not what is needed. It's really the support system to help me navigate this idea, going from this idea, validating it, and actually starting the business. And so I'm hopeful that we're moving to that kind of place with this category, and certainly with the value-added support services that you're going to be giving the young people with the youth pitch.
Right.
Maybe that's something we need to be doing that for everybody, you know? I mean, who knows? It's the first time, and every year we try to make it, better based on feedback that we get. So I'm hopeful that that will be the case. Now, for those people who are watching and they're like, I have a child who, a student who has a great idea and I want them to enter, where can they get this information from?
Well, at the moment, we're just putting it all together, so it will be up on our website.
Okay.
And that would be, I guess, would be the obvious first stop, bedc.bm.
Okay.
Our email address, or call our offices, 292-5570. We plan to work through the school system as well, so we're hoping to make contact with the various principals, guidance counselors, business support personnel to give them the information as well, so that we make that link to those kids who really want to do it a little bit more accessible. So we're trying to get the word out there, and hopefully they're watching this program and know they can give us a call and we can give them whatever information they need to get started.
That's right. So I am very grateful that you came by and talked to me about this today, and of course let the viewers know that this is a great opportunity, I think, for young people, and who knows what it can grow into. Maybe we'll have a whole separate young entrepreneur competition or something next year, but certainly I'm excited about the fact that we have this extra category specifically targeted to young people, and I can't wait to see what they come up with. So thank you again, Raymond, for joining me today.
Thanks for having me.
No problem. This is Mind Your Business. I'm your host, Jamila Lodge. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back.
Good day. David Minus here with your monthly Motoring Minute from the Road Safety section of the Transport Control Department. Fact: the highest number of collisions on Bermuda's roads is caused by inattention, 547 of 1,837 in 2012. Inattention includes any distraction: eating, falling asleep, applying makeup, or even using a cell phone and texting. Here's some information and tips to help avoid distracted driving. Don't eat or drink while driving. You can probably wait until you reach your destination. Plus, it will digest better too. If you feel tired, never drive. Dozing off could turn your lights out for good. Using a handheld device while driving is illegal. Kill the conversation and not yourself. Texting while riding or driving has been described as equal to riding or driving while 4 times over the legal limit. There's no way to do both safely. Be road safe, Bermuda, from TCD and the Road Safety Office.
Welcome back to Mind Your Business. I'm your host, Jamila Lodge, and joining me now in the studio is Marquel Waldron. He is the owner of Extreme Sports and a former Rocket Pitch winner. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. So earlier we were speaking with my colleague Raymond about Rocket Pitch and the fact that we're adding a youth pitch component. But since this year will be the first time that we're doing that, I wanted to talk to you about your experience participating in Rocket Pitch and how it may or may not have helped you with your business. So before we get started, what is your professional background?
So my professional background is I'm an accountant.
Okay.
So, I went to school, to university to become an accountant. I studied accounting, and then after that, I came back to Bermuda, started working for a bit, and then I started to do my professional exams, the CPA exams.
Right.
And then after that, I also did a master's in accounting. So now I'm
really?
now I'm a certified accountant.
Okay. Well, see, that's a whole accountancy. That was one of the banes of my existence when I was in college. So, well done to you.
Thank you.
So, but it does. I mean, entrepreneurship and starting your own business. It seems like they're like counter, ideals, really. Why did you decide to start your own business?
I think it was a mix of a bit of things. So obviously being an accountant major and studying for those exams, I always had the business background, throughout my studies. And then myself personally, I've always been involved in sports since I can walk pretty much. I've been playing football, since I was about 4.
Okay.
I also, when I went to university, I went on a football scholarship.
Okay.
So, and being involved in sports all my life, those two kind of collided together, and there came extreme sports. So, a bit of business background and the love for sports, it just made it easy, to be honest.
Okay. Well, were you exposed to entrepreneurs? Is there anyone else in your family who owns their own business, or?
I think in terms of the actual entrepreneurship piece, I just haven't. I guess I can put it, I never really wanted to work for anybody else.
Okay, I accept that.
I always kind of wanted to be my own boss.
Yeah.
So, no family members directly have any businesses, but I just always had that drive and that knack for doing things for myself. And I think that drive is what caused me to become an entrepreneur.
Okay. And it doesn't help that you have a master's in accounting either,
Yeah, exactly.
because you're going to need that.
Exactly.
So tell me about, what is that, extreme sports?
Yeah,
it is extreme.
Yeah, it is extreme, but not as extreme as most people take it for. No, as a company, we do what we call sports entertainment rentals.
Okay.
So we rent like games and fun equipment for kids, for birthday parties, for different events, team building as well. And then, we also do some, sports sales and other things like that.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I remember participating. You did this corporate kind of thing.
Yes, you did,
yeah. I'm still recovering from that.
Yeah.
We want to support, but okay, that was a lot. But no, so one of the reasons is because you did participate in the rocket pitch competition. What made you decide to enter in the first place?
Well, obviously, of course, I was in contact with the BEDC about this business idea, and I guess the timing was good. It was right around the time when Rocket Pitch was coming up. So the people I went to who were very helpful at the time, suggested that I do a Rocket Pitch for various different reasons, and so I went forward with it, and obviously it went well. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so I mentioned it in the first segment, but some people they don't want to enter a competition because it is a public competition. There are going to be people in the audience. There are going to be judges. And so there's this fear that if I pitch it, somebody's going to steal my idea. Did you experience that at all? And if so, how did you talk yourself through it to actually
For me, it was a little different because the business was still kind of already started. So I got the idea that some people who have a brand new idea that, is not out there, you might be a little worried. But I can tell you from my experience, it's not about the idea. It's all about the execution.
Okay,
so,
say it again. What was that?
It's all about the execution, So 10 people can have the same idea.
That's right.
And, even as my business has grown, people have flirted with doing different things, and which is fine. It's normal in the course of business. But if your execution is better than anybody else's, it doesn't matter what your idea is.
I agree with you. And, despite the fact that, I tried to say that with people, there's still some resistance, and rocket pitch isn't for everybody.
Yeah,
Let me just say that,
yeah.
So if that is something that prevents you or is encumbering you from being able to get up and participate and perhaps win the money, then I would say don't do it. But certainly execution is the key. Yeah. So you entered the competition, you won the competition. What did you get? Like, it was $4,000 or $5,000? $5,000 in cash. How did that impact your ability to get the business up and running?
Yeah, so when I actually pitched, like I said, my business had briefly started already. So I was actually pitching to start a new branch of my business, which was the corporate service line, which you participated in. So it really helped, honestly, in terms of what we bought out of the money. We bought new equipment, but overall, it just gave the business a little bit of stimulation to help go to that next level. And we were successful, obviously, in winning the competition, and then launching the corporate service event, which is now going into its third year in April. So it was really successful and really helpful. Just the whole pitch. As well, because it makes you look at things from a different light. Even if you've done a business plan and things like that before, doing the competition and convincing people is a really big part of it. You know, it's good to have an idea yourself, but convincing a couple hundred people in a room that your business is a good idea.
This should be the one,
yeah,
right?
Exactly.
Pick me.
It's very helpful.
Yeah, okay, good. That's good feedback, I think, because of course we're trying to convince people to participate this year.
Yes, exactly.
Be like Marquel, enter the rocket pitch competition. But no, for us, like it is an opportunity for BEDC to support people who have these ideas, right? And we want to be the catalyst. Not every business that enters and wins actually starts, which is okay. But I think at the end of the day, you don't want to not start, you know, because sometimes you just are sitting on an idea and you're thinking about it and thinking about it. It's like, what is it gonna take to move you to that next point, which is the beginning of the execution part, right? So, okay, now you've started this business, you've done well, you've launched a second component of it. Is there anything else that you have planned for the business?
Yes, you know, it's important in business, you know, to always stay on what I would call your P's and Q's and, you know, keep trying to evolve. Even if it's not expanding or a new service line or something like that, maybe it's bettering what you currently have, you know, so that's very important. To beat around the bush a little bit, yes, we are, you know, looking to do new stuff. I don't want to disclose too much right now, but
so
you know,
surprise.
always,
We like surprises.
you know, always definitely looking to, like I said, if we can expand better what we currently have.
Okay, so for those who are considering, you know, entering, what do you think some of the keys to your success were for actually winning in the competition?
Rocket pitch competition.
Yeah.
Pay attention to detail. I would say, you know, literally when you get the documents for the rocket pitch, it gives you a PowerPoint and a format and what to follow. I would say be very basic. Stick to a format. Put in the points it tells you to put in, and really try and grasp that concept, because, you know, while it might not be what you would originally do, that's what the judges are marking on, and they literally have that same syllabus that you are supposed to present on. So I would say, you know, be simple and pay attention to that detail, and it'll go a long way.
I think that's a good point, because some people may have like this business plan, 40 pages or whatever, and really rocket pitch, we increased the amount of time. You're only supposed to have 5 minutes, right? So we gave a little extra 7, because you know how we like to elaborate. But your suggestion of sticking to the script makes a lot of sense, because we actually do give the judges judging sheets based off of the template that we provide. So I do think that that's good advice. But how do you whittle down this 40-page business plan to 7 slides? Right. How do you do that?
Pick out the most important parts. Pick out the parts that you think are most important to the people in the room, and more specifically the judges. You know, like you said, it's good to have this 40-page business plan, but when you only have 7 minutes, you can't go through that whole business plan, obviously. So picking out those important parts, you know, whether it be different services you offer, whether it be the numbers that you're after, you know, whatever you think is going to best sell your business pitch, concentrate on those in that 7 minutes. And you know, be careful about, you know, they'll get practice, obviously, with pitching and timing and things like that, but, you know, be careful not to spend the first 4 minutes, 5 minutes on your introduction, and then you're trying to rush the rest of your presentation. So,
that's a good important point too. And there is an opportunity for question and answer at the end. So sometimes if you don't have enough time to cover it all in the pitch, you're like, okay, let's hope the judge asks me a question so I can go into that. But do you think because you have the background in accounting, it made it easier for you to go through some of the numbers? I mean, we're not asking for detailed numbers in the pitch, but certainly I think from a judge's perspective, they want to see that it's feasible, right? Yeah. So what would you say to that for someone who may not have your skill set? How should they best prepare for that component, you think?
That component of, I would say, get your advisors. You know, you're not going to be an expert in every part of your business. Just like I'm an accountant background, you know, I don't have any expertise in marketing or sales or anything like that. So, you know, if that's not an area you're comfortable in, get the advice of people around you. Better yet, the BEDC. That would also be a good place to start, you know. So, yeah, get that advice from them and just make sure that, you know, you're comfortable with what you're putting out there, and they would advise you in the correct manner as well.
Thank you very much. Appreciate those plugs. No, but I first want to say thank you for coming and sharing your story. And for those who are watching who may be considering entering, they may be on the fence,
Yeah.
what would you say to them to encourage them to enter?
I would say go for it, because when you have an idea like that, it's just an idea, and you can never pitch it, and then you're always going to be wondering, well, what would have happened if I pitched it? Versus if you actually pitch it, you may win, you may not win, but at least you tried.
Right.
So if you're thinking about it, if you're sitting on the fence, I would say give it a go, because you never know. And if I'm assuming it's something you want to start as a business, you're going to be passionate about it. It's something you think can work. So you got to take that confidence, go through all of this stuff. And even if you don't win, you would come out a better person. Your idea would be more polished. You might not necessarily win the money and services and come first, but that's not to say that the business can't start, because I'm pretty sure you guys have plenty of businesses who didn't win that were probably bigger than some of the ones that did win.
They are. That is excellent advice. Thank you so much. What a wonderful way to wrap up. I want to thank you again. Congratulations on your success. Congratulations on getting the business off the ground and your impending expansion. And we look forward to continuing to work with you and continuing to support you because you are a great representation of what happens when you actually do take a chance, take a chance, get out there, and then pursue your passion. So thank you again, Marquel, for coming.
Anytime, Jamila.
All right.
Thanks.
Thank you for joining us today on Mind Your Business. If you have questions, you can contact the BEDC at 292-5570 or email us at info@bedc.bm. And remember, if you don't mind your business, who will? I'm Jamila Lodge, and thanks for joining us.